Test, test. Little hum. Test, test. There. Shut up. Those two there. Hey, everybody, we'll get started here in a second. I need to do this. I need to. Here, copy. We got a pretty decent show. One more thing I wanted to record, but I didn't get to because I went on Sun Fun instead. Like, this is ridiculous. Twitter app on the computer is ridiculous. How is it just 2 taps on my iPad, but on the Twitter app on the Mac, it just takes forever. I'm gonna force quit Twitter. Yes. I need you back. There. There. And I am there. Alrighty. I'm hungry. I'm gonna get this started so I can cook my food, which we'll talk about and what I've been eating. I know I've done that before. So let's get this started. We'll talk about food, how these work, and all of that. And we'll learn that I'm a bad Catholic today. Alrighty. Flying in Life podcast, episode 23, Sun and Fun, day number 4. Welcome to the Flying Life podcast, a podcast about just that, flying, aviation, life, all things in general. I'm a dispatcher, Mike. I'm a dispatcher for a major airline based in the United States. So, Sun and Fun, day 4. If you notice, I'm wearing a jacket. It's chilly. It's cold. At least the sun went down. It's like an early spring, probably a Florida winter. It was 72. Wasn't that bad of a temperature today. No humidity. Very cool, crisp. So today, I talked to 2 aircraft manufacturers. So is that. We didn't really. I didn't tackle the big guys. I didn't go to Textron. I did not go to see Textron or Piper or any of those. I got 2, and they're both light sport. There are a lot of light sport aircraft and all over the place. So we talk about that. And then I talked to the My Radar folks, and while all those are playing, no, I think that will be tomorrow. I talked to ForeFlight again today as well. Did not have time to cut the audio for that for this episode. We'll do that tomorrow in that episode if I'm still here or from at home. But we'll do at least one more recap tomorrow because I have all of tomorrow's coverage interviews already covered. We're going to talk about the ADSB tomorrow. So um, I said before on the video, we're going to talk about food. I talked about these meals prior to, so I'm going to kind of show just because I need to eat. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet, so I want to show how easy it is to make these things. Um, if you can open up a Ziploc bag, you just open it up. This is a great podcast. I know. You take everything out. It comes with a heating element. Oh, this one's different. This is just a spoon and a napkin and your food. And then I also have some rice. So we're going to have you put the heating element in, add like 5 ounces of water, put your food in, and it cooks. So while I prepare my food, let's hear from Flight Designs. They have a cup series of light sport aircraft. So without further ado, this is my interview earlier with Flight Designs. All right, this is Flight Design CT. I didn't hit the record button. This is Flight Design CT Light Sport Aircraft. So I'm here with John, and I'm looking at a couple of light sport aircraft. John, first tell me what makes an aircraft a light sport aircraft?
Well, what makes an aircraft a light sport aircraft is actually going is built to industry consensus standards rather than government standards. There's what that also means is it's going to be limited to 1,320 pounds gross weight. Typically, you're going to see between a 5 and 600 pound useful load on a light sport aircraft, and about 120 knot cruise speed.
Okay, what is the mission for a light sport aircraft?
The mission for a light sport aircraft is going to be just that, sport. They're awesome for flying around locally or going on cross countries up to maybe 1,000 miles. They're great for sightseeing, having fun, training, getting in the air, that kind of thing.
Okay, you have a couple of levels of your CT light sport. Can you walk me through them?
Sure. What we have here is the CTSW, the CTLS, and the CTLSI. The CTSW has been out for quite a while. It's actually now been replaced by the Superlight, which is a very similar airplane. The CTLS is 14 inches longer, still has a carbon fiber fuselage. However, it has aluminum landing gear, which is a little more forgiving. The whole aircraft is designed to be a little more comfortable and a little more forgiving than the predecessor CTSW.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about avionics. What do you have in there in the panel?
We have the new Dynon HDX system, which we were the first ones to actually install the HDX in a light sport. We're very happy with it. It's got a nice, bright, crisp display, moving map, very good engine instruments. They're also the first and the only that I'm aware of fully functional PFD MFD combination that will give you full-time engine monitoring all the way down to trouble codes for the engine. So fuel injector number 6 say has a fault, then you can tap the engine info button. It'll say fuel injector number 6 has failed right on your screen.
Okay, wow, it's really cool. Kind of almost an ICAS ECAM kind of thing like they have in the in the Boeing's and the Airbuses. Um, for the light sport, what's the market for the light sport? Who are you trying to get the airplanes out to?
Well, the market kind of fills the gap between, say, like a ultralight or an older used G airplane like the Cherokee 140, and a more expensive airplane like a Cirrus or Bonanza, something like that. If you're going to be flying alone or with just one other person, a light sport really fits the bill. The cost of the airplane is going to be less than half, actually probably a quarter new of a comparable production type certificated four seat.
Okay. What is the range price range on your aircraft? I understand completely configurations, all that might change.
New aircraft anywhere between 150 and 180,000.
Okay. And where are they manufactured?
Right now, they're manufactured in Xiamen, China, and Kherson, Ukraine.
Okay. And then so when you are buying the aircraft, it's manufactured over there. Then you find a dealer like yourself. Can you explain the purchase process?
Sure. Well, we have a website, flightdesignusa.com, which will list all the dealers, of course. We're at all the major air shows where you can meet us. Then we have locations all over the country, here in Florida, out west in Las Vegas, for example, Tulsa, Oklahoma, South Woodstock, Connecticut. You're welcome to go visit one of your local dealers. Uh, go for a demo with the dealer if you want to go up and go fly. They'd all be happy to do that with you, and then put down a deposit on an airplane. We also have a good selection of used airplanes in stock in addition to new ones. Used ones start as low as 68,000 for a very nice airplane.
Okay. And then once you purchase, you say you want this aircraft, you purchase it, then it's up to you, the dealer, to get the aircraft to your dealership for delivery. Or does the person buying the aircraft have to go through the import process?
No, we import the airplane. The airplane will be in the United States for the customer. The customer can pick up the airplane at one of the regional dealers or distributors, or they can have the airplane ferry to them.
All right, cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. All right. So, yeah, I mean, this aircraft, look at them. They got a really nice panel. And I talked to Dynon uh, today, so they'll be on tomorrow's episode. Great stuff. Holy cow. A lot of information that you can get right at your fingertips, right there. Really good stuff. Really beautiful panels, a lot of information, full glass, very on the cheaper end of things. They rival what a G1000 would do, but for much more less of the price. So really good. Um, Other than that, it's a small airplane. It's a two-seat airplane, very lightweight. Um, it's like you said, it's kind of a mix between an ultralight and like a Cessna 152. I'm gonna call it like a low-winged 152. They're very small. It's not much room for seating or anything like that. When I looked at, it looked like it was just the seat, uh, almost right on the carbon fiber. So, but like you said, it's a good cheap airplane, and if it's all you want to do is get up and go fly, then it works out quite well. So, we're going to move on and play this real quick. All right, I did another interview with a aircraft manufacturer, and this is also a light sport, but this one's a little bit different. This is a light sport amphibious airplane, a light sport amphib, and it's called the Sea Ray. They have been in production for 25 years this year, based here in Florida, and they talked to their marketing guy, really sharp guy. So have a listen. All right, I'm here with Kevin Oakes, director of marketing and sales for Sea Ray. Tell me a little bit about the Sea Ray. What is it?
Well, it's a light sport amphibious aircraft. This is our 25th year anniversary. So there are nearly 700 Sea Rays flying worldwide. And it's a very versatile, go anywhere, backcountry adventure seaplane.
Okay. I I don't have I don't have a seaplane rating or a tail dragger rating. I'm assuming those are two things that I need to get before I can fly a Sea Ray.
You would need a light sport seaplane endorsement, which is similar to a seaplane rating. And you would need a tailwheel endorsement to fly the Sea Ray.
Okay. Talk to me about your different level of aircraft.
Sure. Well, we have two different models. The more basic version is the Sea Ray Adventure. We just rolled it out at Sun and Fun this year. It's a very basic panel, radio and transponder with a normally aspirated 100 horsepower engine. That airplane is 119,000. For a long time, a lot of people have asked us for the most basic version of the Sea Ray without making it something less. And so that's the result of that request from our customers. The Sea Ray Elite is the more upscale version of the airplane with a turbocharged engine for higher service ceiling, better climb performance, and it's got the Garmin G3X Touch in it.
Okay, so the basic version, is that just steam gauges then, or is that still a glass panel?
That's correct. Steam gauges in that one.
Awesome. All right, and I see over here you have a white aircraft with this wings folded in. I'm assuming all Sea Rays do that.
We offer folding wings as an option. So if someone wants to trailer the aircraft or use it on a yacht or something like this, they have the ability to do so. The folding wing package allows one person to be able to fold the wings in about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay. Can you walk me through the difference takeoff, landings, land versus sea? Does the airplane going to warn me if I'm about to land on the water but my gear's down, or land on the land and it's not?
It does have a very advanced gear warning system in it. It requires pilot input. So if you're on approach, it uses the flap settings and airspeed to ask you, are you making a water landing or a land landing? And if you press the button that says water landing and you've got that landing gear down, it's going to start making all kinds of alarms and horns and yelling at you. So it has a very good gear warning system in that. In addition to the gear warning system, we have a formalized flight training program, transition training for new owners, and that really focuses on the landing gear position for water and land landings. I think it's around 70% of amphibious seaplane accidents are the gear in the wrong position for the type of landing. So we've addressed that with both the gear warning system and with the training program.
Okay, so say I lived on a lake. How how do I store my airplane? Get it in and out of the water? Do I need to build a boat ramp? Can I use a dock? Things like that.
All of the above. Some people leave them in the water. Some people, if you've got a shoreline that allows you to taxi up, it's a tail dragger, so you can really taxi into all types of different shorelines. You can use a hydraulic or mechanical lift for it. Or of course, you can always keep it at the airport in a hangar and do it that way. So there are as many answers to that as there are Sea Ray owners.
Okay. I heard you talking just before we started the interview. It almost sounds like the Sea Ray owners once you buy a Sea Ray, you're part of more of a community.
It's very much a family. Everyone from the factory workers, from the production line up through management to our instructors to our owners are just passionate about this airframe. It's been around for a long time. It's a very tough, robust seaplane being used in all types of conditions around the world. And in that, it brings the owners together. And it is very much a family and a very tight knit community, unlike you see with a lot of other airplanes.
All right. Anything else you want to share about the Sea Ray that you can think of?
You know, it's one of those airplanes that is much more than the sum of its parts. I would invite anyone who is even slightly interested in the Sea Ray to come visit us at the factory and to fly the airplane, because really, without getting your hands on it, no matter how many seaplanes or any other type of aircraft you've flown in your flying career, um, there's just nothing like this one, and you really have to fly it to experience it.
All right. And where is the factory?
Factory is located in Tavares, Florida, which is just north of Orlando.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Now this Sea Ray airplane, it just looks cool. I mean, it's an amphib. I was watching a little bit of their promotion video while I was waiting for their marketing director to get done with an actual customer, and it's really cool. It's just you land on the lake, you can just power up and taxi out, and boom, there you are on the land, and you just taxi to your backyard, and you're done. It is perfect for someone who likes boating and likes flying. Take it anywhere. I don't know the exact rules of being a seaplane owner and if you can land on any lake, certain lakes, no lakes, things like that. But it looks like a really good, fun airplane that you can pretty much take anywhere and have a really good mission. And like you said, the as I was there were other seaplane Sea Ray owners that were coming up, and they have their own little Sea Ray community. and your marketing director was talking about promoting their an event, and he's like, yeah, I'll just throw it out on our Twitter page, and I'll just have fly in, and the word fly in to Sea Ray owners is like saying cake in a room full of 5-year-olds. So it's a good thing. Really cool airplanes. It just doesn't fit my needs, but I still wanted to cover because I think it could fit the needs of somebody, and it's a pretty pretty decently cheap aircraft, right out of the box new, and I'm sure that even cheaper on the used. And the final interview today is with the My Radar people and the My Radar app. And let's go ahead. I'll jump into the interview, and we'll talk about the My Radar app, and afterwards we'll talk about how I use it and how my family uses it and why you should use it too. All right, so I'm here with Brad from My Radar. Brad, I love your app. I know exactly what it is. I know all the add-ons that go to your app. Please tell me why did you start this, and explain a little bit of why what the My Radar app is.
Thanks, Michael. So My Radar is a general purpose weather app that's used from aviators and the general public alike. It's been in the App Store since 2008. The original company founders were pilots and wanted to build products, specifically for the aviation community. And then, of course, amazingly enough, we found out that, in addition to pilots, everyone cares about the weather, and the app started achieving mainstream success. Over the last several years, it's been downloaded close to 30 million times, and it's used every day for 3 million users. And we like to think that we offer one of the best weather pictures of what's happening, both in your neighborhood and across the U.S. as well as the whole wide world. Our radar composite will show you where the rain is and when it's going to happen. We have short and long-term forecasts. And over the years, we've been adding more and more advanced features, including storm chasers that live stream video into our app. We have live meteorologists producing weather videos that are within the app, hurricane tracking, wind animations, and all kinds of amazing features. But I know that you're a you're an aviation podcast, and I want to talk a little bit about features that are specific to aviators. And starting this year, we're allowing users to purchase optional upgrades to add IFR and VFR charts to the app, so you can see the radar imagery, right on top of the aviation information. We've also always offered flight tracking, as well as IFRs, TFRs, and SIGMETs. And what a lot of people will do is, when they wake up in the morning before they head to their FBO, they'll launch our app at home, get a good, understanding of the weather pattern. If they file a flight plan, they can type in a tail number and see where they're going to fly that day and make some informed decisions, before they even get to the cockpit. So we're really proud to be here at Sun and Fun 2017. We have, a massive presence here. Our pilot, Scott Farnsworth, who we sponsor in the Reno Air Races, has been here talking up My Radar all afternoon. And this is the year where we've debuted our virtual reality experience, which allows people to fly with Scott Farnsworth inside of a VR environment that we've set up just for the attendees of Sun and Fun.
Okay, so you're going to start having overlays for IFR and VFR charts. When can we expect to see that, and how much extra is that going to cost me?
So our IFR and VFR overlays are our subscription service. They run $24.95 a year. We've already released that for our Android users, and our iOS users should have them before this podcast airs.
So tonight.
Well, I assume your podcast will take a couple of days. We're expecting approval from Apple to release those, within a few days.
So it's in the Apple process for a new update. So sometime, hopefully, two, if Apple drags their feet, we'll see a new update for My Radar, and we can start doing IFR and VFR charts.
That's absolutely correct. And in addition to that, we put a lot of work into making the app faster, more responsive. We're more conservative with our usage of the battery, and our radar imagery is even better than ever before.
Okay, let's talk about some of the features in the app that I use the most and I like. I like the watches and warnings. Where do you get that information? Can it can it alert you?
Yeah, so watches and warnings, we get the NOAA weather alerts, and we send those as push notifications to our users all across the United States. We're also, currently, investigating how we can get similar, watches and warnings for our European and our Japanese customers, because my radar has, truly grown, past our humble roots as a small two-person app company to being one of the leading weather apps in the world, and we're trying to get that same type of information to everybody that's out there.
Okay, so I know you have the United States coverage. I know you have the Japanese and European coverage. Any other coverages that you're trying to get?
Well, Canada, of course, we have lots of people flying between the United States and Canada. But we're just watching and listening to what our users ask for, and as we get requests, we start reaching out to government agencies to get raw weather data across the world, and we're going to try to expand everywhere we can. There's also some very interesting new global satellites that are launching, and we're putting some work into investigating what kind of data we can get off those satellites, and get more a worldwide picture.
Okay, let's talk about the virtual reality experience. I just did it. I saw. Why did you guys do this? Besides the fact that it's cool. But talk to me a little bit more about it.
Well, so we've been sponsoring Scott Farnsworth, the 2015 U.S. Race champion at the Reno Air Races in the sport class, and 2016 European Race Series champion, to fly the MyRadar Extreme Air XA42. And through our time working with Scott, we realized that it's really cool to watch acrobatics from the ground, but very very few people ever get the chance to be in the front seat of a plane, executing those types of maneuvers. And with our experience in technology and our relationships, we were able to get our hands on a Nokia Ozo camera, which is at a time a $60,000 virtual reality camera. Put it in the front seat, take some incredible, 360-degree virtual reality footage, and produce this experience using the world's best virtual reality headsets to really just show people what it's like to fly in the MyRadar Extreme Air. And truthfully, there's not a lot of business reason for doing it. We just wanted to give something back to the aviation community, give something back to the fans, and show a good time for everybody. And it never hurts that we get the brand out there. People like yourself come and ask us what it's all about, and I get to say my radar 3 or 4 more times, in front of a microphone.
Well, thank you very much for the interview. Thank you very much for your work that you guys do on the app. It is my son uses it every day. He watches your meteorologist's briefings every day. He watches the weekend updates. He puts on the winds. He knows more about the weather before I get out of bed and all that. So that's his first stop in the morning is to read your look at your app. So thank you for everything you do. Thank you for everything, and I will be more than willing to shell more money out of my wallet to my radar for these updates. So I can't wait for them.
And thank you, Michael.
All right. So reality, and it was pretty cool. Uh, it each guy they had different. There's 5 videos. I watched 2 of them, and it was pretty amazing. You're missing. Get the full visual, full VR. So it's a full panel look around. You can see each wingtip as you go. It was really fun to watch the aerobatics, not mainly from the aerobatic side, but really on the second one, which was the most extreme one that I watched, a lot of hard flying. It was really cool to just watch the airspeed indicator and see when he started his next maneuvers and how he got his airspeed to say 0 on the on the way up on one of the climbs. They actually his airspeed indicator was fully pegged at 0. Then he snapped the airplane over, and before you know it, he was back in the yellow arc, headed down. Really fun there. Um, that's it for the interviews for today. Good stuff coming tomorrow. I have the FAA and all of that. This evening, I had the opportunity to be on the Stuck Mike Avcast podcast, and that was with Carl Valeri and his team over on Sun and Fun Radio. And that was a good opportunity to sit there, uh, meet Carl, because I've listened to his shows for quite a while and know very much about his shows and the work that he does. So That was this evening, and then now we're up to now. This might be my last night at Sun and Fun. I might have to leave tomorrow right after the air show. Talking to my wife this evening, she was starting to say that she's getting sick, and a sick mama bear home with three baby bears is not a good thing. And usually, you kind of joke about man flu and all of that. Usually, when ladies start to complain that they're sick, the guys would have been in bed for a couple of days earlier, sleeping it off. So, might have to bug out of here tomorrow. I'm glad I did all my pre interviews for tomorrow. So, day 5 might be from my home tomorrow night, but I'll still try to get a video out, and then I'll do a big recap podcast to wrap it all up, pros and cons of coming to Sun and Fun, the way I did it, and would I do it again. So that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. I'm gonna get this edited and eat my food, which is now should be now hot, and I'm tired. I'm ready for bed. It's gonna be chilly tonight too, so get there pretty quickly. So, thanks for joining me. Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you could, please share. If you like what you're hearing, if you like all these updates from Sun and Fun, please go ahead and share. Please retweet or share. Go into iTunes, write a review. That'd be very helpful. So, from Lakeland, Florida, here at Sun and Fun 2017. Have a great night.